This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 24. But the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rokah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yashar Allah, and a sincere salutation to all Yuakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. I want to go into a lesson through the Spirit. I was kind of just sitting and meditating on, the fact that the Lord is returning the spiritual authority on the earth to his people. The Spirit is really being nurtured in the Lord's people, beginning with the elect. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. And what I mean by that is only the elect really have the vision. So only the elect can really understand what's going on in the earth right now. You have people that see the nuclear missile warnings. You have people that see the economic turmoil, and they're able to talk about one part of it. But they don't really understand the overall goal and mission of what the Lord is establishing in the earth. And it brings me back to this quote that I brought out in a lesson a while back. And it goes into Plato had this quote. All right. And the quote says, until philosophers are kings, or the kings and princes of this world have the spirit and power of philosophy and political greatness and wisdom meet in one, and those commoner natures who pursue either to the exclusion of the other are compelled to stand aside, cities will never have rest from their evils. See, when we fell away, wisdom was taken out of the earth, because wisdom only dwells with the nation of Israel. All right, let's get that. This is Salakia. Oh, Salakia, let me get this. Jacob. All right, so this is Ecclesiastes chapter 24 and verse 8. I'm going to start up so we can get the context. Ecclesiastes 24 and 1 reads, wisdom shall praise herself and shall glory in the midst of her people. In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before his power. The wisdom is only attained in dwelling in the tabernacle of Jacob, and it's only being seen right now on the elect. Even though our people still possess that special spirit of being an Israelite, they don't necessarily have the wisdom included into that. But amongst the elect, the Lord is nurturing wisdom, which is a part of our inheritance. This is why only the prophets really can tell you what's happening, and that's all through the Spirit of the Lord, of course. But only the prophets can tell you the summary of the issue. And ultimately, it's not going to stay there. We're going from faith to faith, Lord willing, from glory to glory. And what that means is eventually the nation of Israel are going to have physical authority under Yahweh Shai. Right now, it's a spiritual authority, meaning Scott Ritter, Peter Schiff, they can talk about certain things, but they have no idea what the overall plan is. Some of them might even know what the elites are intending to do, but they don't know the summary of the situation. That can only be found in Jacob. And it's beautiful. I was just kind of meditating on it. And I want to bring these scriptures out in light of that. This is Ecclesiastes 24 and 3. It says, I came out of the mouth of the Most High and covered the earth as a cloud. And you know what? This shows you that there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Peter Schiff, Scott Ritter, George Galloway, they have knowledge. They have knowledge on certain subjects. They don't have wisdom. And this is the breath of the Most High. This is the out of the mouth of the Lord. And it's been imparted to particular men of the nation of Israel. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. Continuing, it says, I came out of the mouth of the Most High and covered the earth as a cloud. I dwelt in high places, and my throne is in a cloudy pillar. I alone compassed the circuit of heaven and walked in the bottom of the deep, in the waves of the sea, and in all the earth, And in every people and nation I got a possession. With all these I sought rest. And in whose inheritance shall I abide? So the Creator of all things gave me a commandment. And he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thine inheritance in Israel. And this is divine. You know, everything that's happening concerning the Lord raising our nation back up. You know, to raise a nation back up, it has to start with a certain mindset and spirit, which is why we don't have our own land, which is why we don't have the comforts that come with being a royal nation of people. Because to rebuild us, the Lord has to start on the inside. And then he has to start with the best citizens, or the aristocrats, which is the elect. And through the elect, through Yahushua first and foremost, and through the elect, the rest of the nation of Israel are going to have that dominion as well. And their tabernacles are going to be upgraded so that they have this wisdom as well. And we're all going to be made perfect according to the law. And then the wisdom that rests in Jacob is going to be shared with the nations properly. See, the world looks the way it is because of who's in authority. And Esau is the furthest thing from wisdom, which is why the world is in this condition. You know, I started off with Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter and the 24th verse. But when you jump up, let's do that real quick. Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 20, it says, therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. And that's the process the Lord is literally doing with our nation. Even when you deal with the circumcision, those who know that they're Israelites, everybody who knows that they're Israelites don't necessarily have the breadth of wisdom of understanding what's actually happening amongst us and what the Lord is actually doing, and the spirit of understanding to navigate through this world and apply the scriptures. That's the breath of the Lord that has to come from on high. You can know who you are, but that's not the finish line. But as the scripture just said, wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. So the Lord is starting by nourishing wisdom in the elect. And it's from the knowledge that we learn through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, and the life that we live in this world and how we apply this knowledge. And it develops a level of experience, and that graduates to wisdom. That's why I forget where it's at, but it says not just for me, you know, but for the others too, that are like myself, roughly paraphrasing. Because it's only for the elect on this side. Only the elect have the tabernacles to receive wisdom. 2/3 on this side, they don't. They still have the spirit of Jacob. It's undeniable, but they don't have the wisdom. And it's because their hearts have been darkened. Now continuing, it says, verse 21, if your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore. And one thing wisdom teaches you is not to chase titles just for title's sake. Not to just do certain things that is beneficial to your ego, but destructive for everything else. Wisdom will teach you that. That's why I said Esau is the furthest thing from wisdom, because that's all he does is gather possessions for the sake of doing it. Is rule the nations with anger just for the sake of doing it, because that's all he is. That's all he knows. That's the only thing he can produce. A wicked tree can only bear wicked fruit. But at the same time, as the Lord is bringing the world to the judgment seat, he's also raising up salvation in Jacob with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that the elect have in their vessels, and is being nourished by the Heavenly Father's hand. It's the Lord's hand over your life that keeps and preserves that gift of wisdom that the Lord has imparted you. All right, this is Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of Yahweh Shema Shai, not of works, lest any man should boast. Because again, it requires the gift of faith to hear these words and receive them. And over time, as you sup in this truth with Yahweh Shai, you develop a certain level of wisdom and discernment and understanding. And overall, and is benefiting the nation overall. 2/3 being cut off on this side is beneficial for the entire nation. because they refuse to return. So at this point, if they're not taken out of the way, we can't go into the kingdom. So that's a part of the process. Likewise, concerning the elect, the Lord is nourishing that wisdom like good seed, and the good seed are in the hands of the Lord. And eventually, when the Lord destroys this present empire, this present rulership, which is described as a heaven, when this heaven passes, this rulership passes, on the ashes of it, the Lord's going to plant that good seed in good soil, and it's going to grow. And 2/3 will be back, and they'll be in their right mind because they're coming through righteous vessels. And that's why I love Wisdom of Solomon 6 chapters. It's just a beautiful chapter overall. But wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. And the Lord is establishing that spiritual authority in the earth. Our spirits as a nation of people have been used for so long for things that are vain, that now is being used for the right thing. And look what's happening in the earth as a result of that. The closer we get to the Heavenly Father, as far as our relationship, Lord willing, we be a part of that number. It's almost like the quicker things are going around us concerning prophecy. It's beautiful, man. Call Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, that we're able to witness our nation getting taken out of the grave and put back on our feet as a people again. And again, it's only being seen on the elect, but amongst the elect, it's a beautiful thing to witness. All right, real quick, let me bring this out. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and 17. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents. And that basically means that the Lord's going to take us out of captivity. All right, it says, and have mercy on his dwelling places, and the city shall be builded upon her own heap. All right, no more gentrification. No more deciding if you're going to pay the extra money on the new lease at the apartment or stack up some money to move. No more of that. Thus saith the Lord, and the city shall be builded upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry. And I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Come on, man. And as a nation of people, man, if this is how we are as a nation of people in our lowest estate, look how there's no other nation that could fuck with us as a people. Excuse my French. There's no other nation that could deal with us as a nation of people, men or women. There's no man in the other nations. There's no woman in the other nations that can deal and compare to the spirit of an Israelite. None. It's just the energy's been focused on the wrong thing. And now that it's being focused on the right thing, look at the earth, man. Everything that we ask the Lord for, we ask the Lord for revenge, for justice, for comfort, to get out of this situation, out of the bitterness of our soul. Look at what he's doing. Look at him work. Call on Yahweh Shema Shah. Hey, so with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rokah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasher Allah. And a sincere salutation to all Yuakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.